Hey guys, it's Amanda from AmandaReads. Today I am coming to you with my November wrap-up and December TBR. November was surprisingly a really good reading month for me, and I say surprisingly because it did not start out that way. But I managed to pick it up, I managed to find some great books, and I ended my November reading month on a really positive note. The first book I read in November was The Adventures of the Wishing Chair by Enid Blyton, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. It's really different when you go back and read your favorite children's books as an adult and you notice things that you didn't before. On Goodreads, I wrote, jumping back into the world of Enid Blyton was enjoyable for the short span of a novel. The Wishing Chair books aren't as great to me as the Mallory Towers or St. Clair's books because I just love those atmospheres. However, reading these books did bring back some nostalgia from my youth when I would read these at night before bed. Overall, I took this book for what it was, a children's book that doesn't really feel the need to explain itself. Everything is presented as known facts, such as multiple entries to the fairyland being right in the children's backyard. The children don't even have a crazy reaction when the wishing chair flies for the first time. Each chapter is a separate adventure with a few exceptions, so the events come to a close when you're ready to finish reading at the end of a chapter, which is nice. Definitely recommend for younger children to play on their imaginations. These types of books are so important to a person's childhood. The Wishing Chair books are about a chair that can fly to magical places, and these two children, these two siblings, find the wishing chair in a shop and they go on lots of adventures with it and their elf friend. But as an adult, I really noticed how nothing was ever questioned. The wishing chair grew wings and the kids didn't say, whoa, there's a chair that's growing wings. They said, hey, let's jump in it and see where it goes. But overall, I gave that book 4 out of 5 stars. The second book I read in November is a book that has been sitting on my shelf for many months since I first hauled it back in February or March, and that is Starry Night by Isabel Gillies. I do not have the dust jacket on here, but I promise you it is in fact Starry Night. Now, this book, I was hesitant to pick it up, but I ended up giving it 3.5 out of 5 stars. You just fall in love with the characters. Personally, I was really invested in the relationships that were happening and all of the dynamics, the social dynamics that were going on, and I just loved it. It's about a girl named Wren who is a teenager in high school, and she has 3 best friends, and they are like this little group and all their parents are friends and all that. And one night, Wren's brother brings along a boy named Nolan, who he has become friends with. And Nolan is in a band, and he's outgoing, and he's really cool, and he's really cute. And Wren is kind of shy. She's an artist. She wants to go study in Paris at an art program. So she's really been focused on that for the past few years of her life. And Nolan kind of opens up the world to her and shows her what she's been missing. And I just loved it. It was so cute. It was a very quick read. I was addicted. Obviously, from all the little post-its I put in here, I found lots of great quotes. I would definitely recommend picking up Starry Night. It is a quick contemporary read, a little, insta-lovey, but I really do enjoy it, and the ending is, oh, I loved it so much. The third book I picked up in November was not a book I expected to be picking up anytime soon. I've been looking at this book for months, just thinking, nope, don't really want to pick you up, but I did for some reason. I just picked it up. And oh my god, I am so glad I did. This is the second book in a series, and if you follow me on Goodreads, you already know what I'm talking about, but I honestly did not like the first book in the series. I mean, when I say I didn't like it, if I hadn't bought the second book with the first book, I would never have bought the second book. Like, I would have just cut it out right there, not interested, hated it. Just, it wasn't what all the hype was about. I didn't understand what all the hype was about. But I picked this book up just hoping against hope that everything would kind of come around and change my mind and I'd really love it. And I'm so glad I picked up this book. It is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, which is the second book in the Lunar Chronicles. There are 2 more books and a novella after this story, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I cannot believe how much better this book was than Cinder. I don't know if I just don't like Cinder's character or if I just really didn't like the way that the series was introduced or whatnot, but oh my goodness, I love Scarlet. Scarlet is my favorite, and the wolf and all these new characters. I just felt like Marissa Meyer stepped it up a level when she wrote this book. So a lot of you know that I picked up the Luxe series a couple months ago, and I read the first and second book in the bind up, and then I decided that I needed to take an emotional break because I was in a book hangover from that second book's ending. Okay, so I did. And I read all these books in between, and I was happy, and then I realized, hey, the end of the year is coming up. I don't want to leave this story months down the road. So I decided, innocently enough, to pick up the Consequences bind up, which is the 3rd and 4th book of the Luxe series called Opal and Origin. okay? I thought this was going to be a nice little, let's keep reading the series, no big deal. Well, guess what? I could not stop once I picked these up. I read Opal, Origin, and Opposition, and Shadows in 4 days. So I finished this and this in 4 days. And it was just nonstop reading. The only break I took was to eat my Thanksgiving meal. And let me just tell you, I get it. Like, I 100% get the hype over the Lux series. I'm so glad I read them. Thank you, thank you, thank you all of you that told me to read the Lux series. Thank you for showing it on your channel so that I knew it existed. Like, I want to go back and reread them already. So I gave Opal, Origin, and Opposition 5 out of 5 stars, and I gave the prequel novella Shadows 4 out of 5 stars. Because I love that it gave you a completely different point of view on everything, and it really explained why the beginning of the first book was like how it was. Let me just tell you, I felt like this book had an amazing conclusion to the end of it. I was in tears, but it all came down to me being completely satisfied. It really got me thinking, like, what if this really happened? Which was kind of a little terrifying, not gonna lie. So if you haven't picked up the Lux series and you own it, definitely pick it up. If you don't own it, you should check it out, see if it sounds like something you might like, and then buy it and try it. As far as my December TBR goes, I really only have 2 set books. First is Leaving Time by Jodi Picoult. I've always said Jodi Picoult, but then I watched a video and she referred to herself as Jodi Picoult, so now I know that's my surname. I am about a little less than halfway through. I have my library card that came with this book, Keeping My Place, which is pretty awesome. I'm on page 154, and this book is really good so far and really different from anything I've ever read by Jodi Picoult. Usually her books have to do with like a trial and a crime. This is different. This is about a girl who her mom just like left when she was really little, and she can't remember the night that her mom disappeared, but she knows that like she was there somewhere. And it's also about elephants. Like, the entire book is about elephants and elephant research. So that's very different because there's not a single courtroom in here. It's all related to elephants and elephant behavior and facts. So I'm learning a lot about elephants and trying to figure out the mystery. And I bought this a few months ago, so I'm really glad I'm getting around to reading this, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I have no idea what's going to happen, and it's really keeping me guessing, which is great. The next book on my December TBR is My True Love Gave to Me, and I plan on reading one of these short stories each day in the 12 days leading up to Christmas. So I have not started yet, but I will be reading this in December. I also placed a book outlet order, which I know I said I wouldn't be doing, but it was when they were having their sale, and I just had to, and I still had a $5 coupon from way back in like May, so I just did it. And I also have another package from Amazon with a book in it that I think I might have to read in December, because this book is causing, like, I'm hearing about this book everywhere. I haven't seen it on BookTube yet, but I'm hearing about this book. Like, everywhere I go, people are talking about this book, so I can't wait to unbox it for you. So I will have an unboxing coming up this week or next week. It depends on when my book outlet order is going to get here, but I hope you're having a really great meeting month. I hope that you are reaching your goals. It's almost the end of the year. We're so close. I'd love to hear what you're reading this month to get yourself in the holiday spirit, so comment down below with any holiday books you're reading. I'd love to hear about them and check them out myself, because I don't really have that many holiday themed books on my shelf. That's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.